Ladies and gentlemen, we are one step closer to the $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard King by Microsoft after today's ruling. A judge in California the past few weeks has heard arguments for and against the acquisition of Activision Blizzard King by Microsoft and has come to the conclusion that the deal will not be denied and can move forward. Up here above, I've inserted some screenshots of the full statement. And while the deal is far from being over, this does clear a big hurdle that was keeping it from moving forward. And if this would have been canceled or canned, it could have spelled big issues for the whole merger, but that doesn't seem to be the case after today's ruling. This afternoon, the news broke courtesy of an article written by The Verge's Tom Warren. I'll go ahead and I'll link that in the description here, but that is where I'm going to be quoting all this information from. So if you'd like to check that out for yourself, go ahead and find it out there. And once that was put out into the wild, there were statements issued by the VP of Microsoft, Brad Smith, and as well as Phil Spencer chiming in, who also put out a series of tweets thanking the court for its swift decision in Microsoft's favor. While it might seem like the end of the year and a half saga of this never-ending news update, there is one small hurdle that still has to be cleared, and that is the UK's CMA, and that stands for the Competition and Market Authority. If the deal is not approved by the CMA board, it is entirely possible that Microsoft does pull out of the UK, as the CMA has actively tried to put a stop to this deal. But it does seem like the two sides are looking to resolve the situation without any issues, as minutes after the judge's decision came down, the CMA and Microsoft have agreed to pause any legal actions in the UK in order for them to come together on a more agreeable terms. What those agreeable terms are, I'm not entirely sure. I do think the terms that the deal have been pretty straightforward, as Microsoft has maintained that they do plan to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation, as well as throwing a Switch port into the mix. I'm not sure how that's going to go, but we will see how that ends up rolling up. And I think it's really interesting because the deal does highlight a lot of what Microsoft is just trying to say, like, hey, we just want more content. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. But a lot of the counter arguments that the FTC made were things that Sony does in direct comparison about the skins, timed exclusive stuff. I mean, that is Sony's bread and butter. And I'm not going to say that exclusives need to die, because competition is good. I do appreciate it. But I think that when you're withholding certain aspects of a game from one player base just because they decide to play on another console, that's kind of shitty. I remember when Destiny had the exclusive strikes back in the day. I mean, hell, the past couple Call of Duties have had exclusive modes entirely. I believe it was Onslaught and then Survival the year before in Modern Warfare 2019. So both of those, that really does suck that those were exclusive because of those deals. But looks like that is going to be put to an end here with this next Call of Duty as well. And really, that is the gist of the story today with the ruling. And the next question, I guess, that really is on everyone's mind is what happens next? Once the deal does conclude, I can expect there to be a pretty big increase in games that are going to be added with, I mean, all the past Call of Duties, I would imagine, possibly even Diablo 4 being added. That might wait a bit. Bobby Kotick has said that he doesn't want to put it on there, but tough shit. Phil's going to be your boss now. I do think that there's a little mock-up here that I'm going to put on the screen. That could be really cool if that does show up, but time will tell here in the near future. And I didn't want to go too in-depth on this, is because this has been something that's been talked to death over the past year and a half, and I think that everyone is just finally happy to say, this is done, it's over, we can finally move on. And I would say for the first time in a while, Microsoft has a W in my book. So if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, go ahead, put them down there in the comments, talk about it. How do you feel about the merger? How do you feel about the acquisition? And thank you for watching. Take care.